Imagine if the voice inside your head that never stops talking wasn't really you. What if you could separate from it, observe it, and in doing so, finally experience the peace and freedom you've always longed for? In this powerful summary of The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer, we'll take you on a transformational journey beyond your thoughts, emotions, and identity, into the pure awareness of who you truly are. This isn't just a book. It's a manual for inner liberation. So, stay with us as we break down each part of this deeply spiritual yet strikingly practical guide to awakening. Michael A. Singer, a spiritual teacher and founder of the Temple of the Universe, wrote The Untethered Soul to guide readers toward freedom from the incessant voice in the mind. The book blends modern psychology with ancient spiritual wisdom, especially from Eastern traditions like yoga and Buddhism. Structured into 5 parts, it walks us through understanding the mind, releasing inner blockages, transcending the ego, and ultimately living a life rooted in boundless peace and unconditional joy. The tone is gentle yet firm, the language simple yet profound. Singer doesn't preach dogma. Instead, he invites readers into direct personal experience, encouraging observation, surrender, and awareness as the path to liberation. Let's now dive into each of the book's 5 parts and its 19 chapters. Part 1. Awakening Consciousness. Chapter 1. The Voice Inside Your Head. Have you ever noticed that there's a constant stream of thoughts running through your mind? Singer begins this journey with a startling realization. That voice inside your head that never stops talking, it's not you. It narrates your day, worries, remembers, plans, and even argues with itself. But who then is hearing that voice? This chapter encourages you to become aware of that internal chatter and to take a step back. Observe it. You'll begin to see that you're not the voice, but the one who is listening. This subtle shift is the first step in awakening. When you can separate from that voice, you begin to experience moments of peace, clarity, and a deeper connection with your inner self. The mind is like a noisy roommate, and by stepping back, you reclaim control over your inner world. Chapter 2. Your Inner Roommate. To make this concept more tangible, Singer introduces the metaphor of the inner roommate. Imagine if that incessant voice in your head were an actual person, living with you 24/7. Would you be able to tolerate them? Probably not. This roommate is neurotic, judgmental, and constantly anxious. Yet we not only tolerate this voice, we identify with it. We believe what it says, no matter how irrational. This chapter invites you to disidentify from that inner dialogue. Once you start watching like an outsider, you begin to understand how much suffering it causes. You can then choose not to engage with it, not to believe every thought that arises. The goal isn't to silence the voice, it's to detach from it, to observe it without judgment. That's when true peace becomes possible. Chapter 3. Who are you? This chapter dives into the deepest existential question. Who are you, really? If you're not your thoughts, emotions, memories, or even your body, then who is the you that experiences all of it? Singer guides us to discover that our true identity lies in the awareness itself. You're the one who sees, the one who hears, the one who is aware of thoughts and feelings. This is not a philosophical concept. It's a direct experience that anyone can access. The chapter draws from spiritual traditions like Advaita Vedanta and Buddhism, pointing to the Atman or soul as the unchanging witness. Realizing this creates a powerful shift in perspective. Life becomes less about defending a fragile ego and more about inhabiting a deep, peaceful consciousness that watches everything unfold. Chapter 4. The Lucid Self. In the same way that a lucid dreamer knows they are dreaming, you can become lucid in waking life, aware that you are the one experiencing life, not just reacting to it. This is the essence of spiritual awakening. In this state, even when strong emotions or chaotic events occur, there remains a part of you that simply observes. This awareness is untouched by the drama. It doesn't mean you become indifferent. It means you gain the clarity to respond instead of react. Singer explains that awareness can focus, just like a spotlight, And often we focus so tightly on thoughts or feelings that we lose sight of our deeper self. But with practice, you can train awareness to remain centered. This is the foundation of inner freedom. Part 2. Experiencing energy. Chapter 5. Infinite energy. Ever wonder why some days you feel vibrant and alive, while other days you're exhausted and dull, even if nothing has changed physically? According to Singer, energy doesn't come from food, rest, or external sources. It flows naturally from within when we remain open. When we resist reality through fear, anxiety, or judgment, we close ourselves off, blocking that energy. Think of your heart as a valve. When open, energy surges through. When closed, it stagnates. The key is to stay open in the face of discomfort, allowing energy to move. This is the secret to sustained enthusiasm and vitality. The more you let go, the more energy you'll feel. Chapter 6. The Secrets of the Spiritual Heart. Here, Singer discusses the heart not just as an organ, but as a center of spiritual energy. When we experience emotional pain, we often respond by closing our hearts to avoid future hurt. But every time we do, we create energetic blockages that limit our capacity to love and feel joy. The chapter explains how these closures are stored impressions, or samskaras, in yogic philosophy, that cloud our inner light. By allowing emotions to pass through without clinging or pushing them away, we release these blockages. With each release, we return to a more natural, open state, and the heart once again becomes a source of joy and intuition. Chapter 7. Transcending the tendency to close. Our default response to discomfort is to shut down, protect ourselves, and avoid pain. This chapter challenges us to do the opposite, to relax and remain open. Instead of resisting life, we are asked to surrender to it. This doesn't mean passivity. It means letting go of inner resistance. Every time something triggers you, a harsh word, a failure, a memory, you have a choice: close up or stay open. The more you choose openness, the more resilient and peaceful you become. Over time, this becomes a spiritual practice, observing your internal reactions, relaxing through them, and remaining open no matter what. Part 3. Freeing yourself. Chapter 8. Let go now or fall. When life gets tough, most of us hold on tighter to people, to outcomes, to beliefs. But Singer turns this instinct on its head. He says that freedom lies in letting go. The moment pain arises, we have a choice: to grip it or release it. This chapter urges us to release immediately, not analyze, not suppress, but let go. Clinging is the cause of suffering. Life is full of ups and downs. Your peace depends on whether you ride the wave or resist it. Chapter 9. Removing your inner thorn. Singer offers a brilliant metaphor. Imagine you have a thorn in your arm. You can either avoid everything that touches it, or you can remove it. Emotionally, we often live in protection mode, adjusting our lives to avoid getting triggered. But true healing comes from facing and removing the inner thorn. This might mean revisiting past pain, but it also means reclaiming your power. No longer are you a victim of circumstance. Instead, you free yourself from needing life to be a certain way. Chapter 10. Stealing freedom for your soul. We spend much of life trying to control everything: our schedules, our relationships, even our spiritual paths. But ironically, this control limits us. The soul longs to be free, to experience life in all its richness. By building walls and routines, we end up caging ourselves. This chapter is about tearing down those inner fences. Freedom doesn't come from managing life. It comes from embracing it fully, without fear or resistance. Chapter 11. Pain, the price of freedom. Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is optional. Singer suggests that pain is the price we pay for liberation. By willingly experiencing discomfort without avoidance, we break our old patterns. We stop being controlled by fear. Each time we lean into pain and relax through it, we loosen the grip of the ego. In this way, pain becomes a teacher, and freedom becomes the reward. The path isn't easy, but it is simple. Feel, release, grow. Part 4, Going Beyond. Chapter 12, Taking Down the Walls. Throughout life, we build psychological and emotional walls to protect ourselves from discomfort, rejection, or pain. These defenses might feel like safety, but they actually become prisons. In this chapter, Singer urges us to start taking down these walls. Each wall we build is a place we've refused to be vulnerable, and thus refuse to grow. If we only allow life to reach us on our own terms, we miss out on the full spectrum of human experience. To go beyond is to move through discomfort without resistance. Instead of contracting, we open. Instead of hiding behind our limitations, we step beyond them. The moment you stop clinging to the idea of safety, you begin to live with real courage and openness. Taking down the walls is not reckless. It is the truest form of freedom. Chapter 13, Far, Far Beyond. This chapter is a meditative, poetic invitation to transcend the small self. The part of us entangled in personal drama, likes, dislikes, fears, and habits. To go far, far beyond, is to step beyond identification with the limited mind and embrace the infinite field of awareness. Singer speaks of this not in mystical terms, but as a living possibility. Every moment you let go of inner tension, you expand into something greater. You begin to touch the divine essence that lies beneath the noise of the mind. This chapter encourages us to cultivate that depth daily, through surrender, awareness, and presence. The more we rest in the seat of consciousness, the more we realize we are not separate beings trying to survive. We are radiant awareness itself, flowing with life. Chapter 14, Letting Go of False Solidity. We often seek solidity in life, in our identities, our relationships, our possessions. But all of it is impermanent. This illusion of permanence creates suffering when change inevitably comes. In this chapter, Singer challenges us to let go of this false solidity. Everything is in motion, thoughts, emotions, circumstances, and clinging to any of it creates fear. When we embrace impermanence, we free ourselves from fear of loss. Letting go becomes not an act of weakness, but of strength. It allows us to live in the truth of the present moment, fully, fluidly, and without grasping. Part 5, Living Life. Chapter 15, The Path of Unconditional Happiness. What if you decided, right now, to be happy no matter what? That's the radical idea of this chapter. Happiness, Singer argues, isn't something to pursue or wait for. It's something you choose in every moment. The catch is that this choice requires letting go of the conditions you've placed on your happiness. I'll be happy when. Instead, you learn to say, I choose happiness now. This doesn't mean you deny pain or avoid challenges. It means you remain open and committed to inner peace, regardless of life's ups and downs. Real happiness doesn't depend on the world behaving as you wish. It's rooted in your decision to be free. Chapter 16, The Spiritual Path of Nonresistance. Resistance is the root of suffering. We resist change, pain, uncertainty, even love. But resistance doesn't prevent discomfort. It multiplies it. Singer invites us to take the spiritual path of nonresistance, to say yes to life as it is. That doesn't mean passive acceptance of injustice or harm. It means no longer fighting reality internally. When you stop pushing back against life, you discover a deep peace that was always available. This peace empowers you to respond to life from clarity rather than fear. Non-resistance is the surrender that opens the door to grace. Chapter 17, Contemplating Death. Death, when honestly contemplated, becomes one of our greatest teachers. This chapter is not about morbidity, it's about clarity. Singer suggests using death as a spiritual compass. When you truly realize that your time is limited, trivial worries begin to fall away. You stop postponing love, growth, and joy. Life becomes more vivid, more precious. Every moment matters. Death reminds us to stop clinging and start living. It dissolves the ego's need for control and anchors us in what is real. Chapter 18, The Secret of the Middle Way. The middle way is a concept found in many spiritual traditions, the path between extremes. This chapter explains how the key to spiritual growth isn't found in excessive denial or indulgence, but in balance. The middle way invites us to observe without judgment, act without attachment, and live without resistance. Instead of chasing pleasure or avoiding pain, we stay centered in awareness. From this place, we are able to flow with life without being thrown off course. It's the art of steady, conscious living, not too tight, not too loose. Chapter 19, The Loving Eyes of God. The final chapter brings us back to the heart of all spiritual awakening, love. Not sentimental love, but unconditional, divine love. When you release the layers of ego, judgment, and fear, what remains is the radiant presence of love. You begin to perceive the world with what Singer calls the loving eyes of God, seeing beauty in everything, even in difficulty. This love isn't something to attain. It's who you are beneath the noise. The journey of the untethered soul ends here, in love, openness, and the deepest realization of your true nature as a spark of the divine. The Untethered Soul isn't just a book. It's a quiet revolution. It reminds us that peace is not something to attain. It's something we uncover by letting go of all that disturbs it. Singer invites us to live from awareness, to be the witness of life rather than its prisoner. Through openness, surrender, and conscious choice, we can untether our souls and soar beyond fear, limitation, and pain. If this summary sparked even a moment of stillness or inspiration, imagine what reading the full book can do. And if you're already on a spiritual path, let this be a gentle reminder. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears it. Let us know in the comments which chapter resonated with you most. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a journey into life-changing wisdom. Until next time, stay aware, stay open, and keep untethering.